Alright, we are going to be putting in some Rancho shocks today. When I was inspecting one of the rear airbags, I noticed that the driver's side rear shock looked like it was leaking. So we're gonna go ahead and change that out, but if I'm changing one, I might as well change all four. So right, we're gonna start pulling the passenger side, or I'm sorry, the driver's side front, and we're gonna look at the brakes, do a good inspection there, and then get one of the front shock absorbers changed out. So let's get to it. Okay, here is the driver's side. Let's see if we can get in there. There. Okay, so it looks like I'm getting down on my pad there. You can see right there the metal marker. I'm getting close. I might have about 20,000 left, maybe. Somebody give me an idea. But they're going to need to be changed out pretty soon. Smooth. All right, so I've got the shock absorber in. Now the auto parts store said that this was the particular model number for this truck, but it looks to me like this is not much travel here. I mean, when you look at the bump stop, the bump stop isn't very much. Couple finger widths. And I know I hit that bump stop quite often coming over some of those roads, especially in Illinois. So I guess I got like 4 finger widths of travel here. I don't know. Somebody tell me if that looks right. I looked online and it said that was the one for the truck, and when I went to Advanced Auto Parts, and that's what they said was to fit this truck. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna get the passenger side done, then I'm gonna flip the truck around and start on the rear. All right, we are in Grants, New Mexico, in the Walmart parking lot. Just about to finish a 10-hour break, and I like, because there's a Denny's right here, probably run over there and get some dinner before I go. Got another 9 or 10 hour drive till I get to the house in Texas. And then I'll be there for a little bit. And it's off to Indiana. Looks like some brand new vans. So, little update. The Shipshe Trailers called me, I don't know, I guess a couple weeks ago, and they said that the pull-out hydraulic ramps that I was planning to get on the back here, the hybrid ramps as they called them, half the pull out and then half hydraulic. They said they weren't going to work So they had to take that off, and I'll just deal with the manual ramps. Okay. A little bit disappointed, but it's not entirely a deal breaker. This means I got to exercise a little bit more. So I finally remembered my step ladder. Put that over there on the other side. I got the Rancho shocks put in. You can really see that one there. And what a difference that makes. That makes for a really nice ride. I was really surprised. Usually it's really bumpy, but those shocks really make a big difference. I don't know if I can see it right here. Yeah. See the other one? Yeah, very easy to put in. I didn't do a video on them because they're just shocks. So this is my home fridge, or my home freezer. Bringing it from the house in California out to the house in Texas. My wife is pre-cooking food for me and freezing it so that I have meals when I'm out driving, which is really, really nice. I always appreciate that. I hate eating out, and I love eating my wife's food, so it's a win-win. I like staying at this Walmart. It's a pretty good, quiet place. Just finished raining, so we gotta jump out and walk around and talk for a minute. I'll lay back down, grab another couple hours before I hit the Denny's. All right. Second quarter IFTA. So starting up in the upper left, Horizon Transport is the company I'm leased under, and I run under their DOT and IFTA, and that's the International Fuel Tax Agreement. And that's for dates April 1st through June 30th of this year. It's the second quarter of 2023. And I bought all diesel. I ran a total of 19,184 miles. And I bought a total 2,199 gallons of fuel. And when they divide that, the fuel that I purchased into the miles, they came up with 8.72 miles per gallon. And listed below is all the states that I ran through during that 3-month period. You can see the miles I drove in each state and the gallons of fuel that I bought in each state, their tax rate, and then the IFTA tax that's due for each state. So, for example, I drove in Alabama 210 miles. I didn't buy any fuel in that state. They have a 29-cent IFTA tax per gallon, so I owe them $6.96 for the privilege of driving through their state. And In Arkansas, I drove 1,311 miles. I bought 165 gallons in their state. Their tax is 28.4 cents per gallon. And I overpaid by $4.26. So that overage gets redistributed through my total IFTA tax. And it gets applied to states where I didn't pay enough, such as Illinois. Here's a good one. I drove 1,327 miles through Illinois. I didn't buy any fuel. Their IFTA tax is 75.7 cents per gallon, and I owe them $115.06. Same way with California. I drove the most in California I take that back. I drove the most in Texas. But in California, I drove 2,377 miles, and I only bought 138 gallons of fuel, and they have the highest IFTA tax at 85.3 cents per gallon, and I owe them $115.16. And Arizona is where I bought the most amount of fuel. No, again, take that back. I bought the most in Texas. And I drove the most through Texas at 3,691 miles. I bought 695 gallons. Their IFTA tax is only 20 cents a gallon, and I overpaid them by $54.40. Now, New Mexico is a little bit different in that they charge you an IFTA tax, but they also charge you a mileage tax. So I drove 2,371 miles through that state, and they charged me an extra $49.06. So my totals down below on the IFTA tax due is I owe an extra $208.83, and then of course the $49.06 for the mileage tax. So my processing fee that Horizon charges they go through a third-party IFTA processor is $285 per quarter, and that covers my apportioned license plates, my IFTA fuel tax, sticker, my everything that I need to run, right? And that comes out to be $95 a month. And to have somebody do this and take care of all this back office for me is well worth it. So the $285 for my processing fee plus my extra $208.83, my total due in the upper right-hand corner you can see is $582.89. $542.89. So that's what it cost me in IFTA to run for second quarter of 2023. If anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions are always appreciated. Please let me know. Am I doing this right, wrong, indifferent? I probably could even things out, I suppose, by purchasing fuel in the states where that has the highest tax, where I'm running the most in. So if anybody has any questions, comments, please let me know. Appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to go over my build sheet for my new trailer that I have ordered. And it is a Model SSW Extreme 53 SDEL. It's an RV slash car hauler, and it has a weight of 7,900 pounds, which I'll know better once they get the actual weigh ticket. And it has a GVWR of 22,000 pounds. I know my truck is capable of towing greater than that, but I don't necessarily need that if I'm towing RVs and maybe a couple cars. I won't need to come close to the maximum weight that the truck can tow. So the base trailer with the standard listed options there is $29,000, and it comes with steel decks, steel cross members, 8K torsion disc axles, the 17.5 steel single wheels, 3 ball towers, and 1 jack wheel. I never use the jack wheel. A center track and center ramps, and then comes with two steel toolboxes and 10-foot aluminum ramps and 4-foot aluminum ramps, 2-speed landing gear, and the 9K Ramsey winch, angling the upper deck, black paint, standard deck height, spare tire with carrier, battery in the toolbox, forklift plug, and 12 straps and 12 ratchets, and a DOT inspection. Now the 12 straps and 12 ratchets, I don't use those. I don't like those. I have my own. And down here, the options, everything in gray is what I selected. So I selected I'm having 3 additional toolboxes put on, and then I'm having all of them upgraded to aluminum, and the wireless winch remote. I'm having an additional spare tire with carrier for the trailer. So I'm going to have 2 trailer spare tires. Then I'm having an additional spare tire carrier for my truck. And it's going to be for up to a 19.5 wheel. And I'm going to have 10K torsion drum axles, which they have the option to have the disc axles, but I've talked to several people, and Shipshy himself said that they have lots of problems with the discs on the 10K axles, so they didn't recommend the disc axles. They said they'd put them on, but they have a lot of problems. A lot of people are coming back with problems. And I talked to 3 different drivers that have the discs on their 10K axles, and they all regret it. And one of them said he had an appointment to go have his axles switched out at a cost of $5,500. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with the drums. Drums are pretty tried and true anyway. They've been around for many decades. And then additional lights, I'm having additional 5 lights per side down the side of the trailer. Those are the 2-inch round lights. I'm doing the aluminum cross member upgrade, which saves a lot of weight. And then the aluminum decking, again, saving a lot of weight. The lowered center track, that way the center track won't be that hump in the middle. It'll be flush with the deck. And that was one thing that they told me that couldn't be added on later. They said anything else that I want can be added on later. But they said the lowered center track has to be designed into the frame of the trailer. So they said that's the one thing that you can't do after the fact. And then I'm getting that closed center upgrade. That to me is worth it. I don't feel like slipping through the center of the trailer. It's just for me, that's just a safety thing, actually. And it keeps the cargo and the RVs and the cars that I might be hauling. It keeps the undercarriage cleaner. Nothing's going to be flying up from underneath. And then the last thing was a reimbursement. When they did my truck bed delete, when I got it back, my door locks didn't work and my overhead clearance lights didn't work. So I had to take it to Ford and have them look at it. And they determined that some of the lights and the lights, the sockets, power sockets were plugged into the wrong places, and that was causing a power feedback loop, and it wasn't allowing the door locks to work or the lights to work. So once they fixed that, they charged me $650. It was actually $800, but they gave me a military discount, so it was $650. And Shipshe was, no, they had no questions about reimbursing me for that, which I really appreciated. So the total with the base price at $29,000, which with the options being $11,430, brings the total up to $40,430. And I put down a deposit, and then my total balance is $34.30. Now they were going to do the hybrid ramps that were going to be part hydraulic and part pull-outs, but they said they just couldn't get those to work. They were still in the testing phase, they said, and they didn't feel confident that it would be working for me more than it wouldn't be working. So they said they didn't want to put those on there if they weren't 100% confident in their product, which again I appreciate, because that was going to be a little over $3,000 for those. So they went ahead and took those off. So I should be getting this sometime in September. So we will wait and see. As always, any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I like answering comments. I really do. And I try to do my best to provide as complete a response as possible. So if I respond, my response is too long, sorry about that. I just like to respond to comments. All right, have a great day.